Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my April makeup basket and my April Pan That Palette update. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with my progress on my Pan That palette. If you are not familiar with the Pan That palette project that I set for myself, I will link you to the January video up above where I take you through the shades, do swatches, all of that. But I am focusing on the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette this year. And I am very excited, y'all, because I have some pan in some shades that I was not expecting. So we'll go ahead and get into that in just a minute. But this is the palette that I am working on. My goal is to finish the majority of the shades in this palette if you are not familiar. So there are 2 shades at the end, which I'm probably not really going to work that much on, but the rest of them I am hoping to complete in their entirety in 2023. So let me tip you down and we will see how I'm doing. Okay, so before I open this up, let me go ahead and just put a picture right here of what the palette looked like at the start of March. And then here's what we're looking like at the end of March. Now, at the last update, this was the only shade that had pan, and I started the year with pan in this shade. I am actually going to repress this month so that we can get all the product back in the middle. So I'm thinking this will be done by the end of April, but I also now have pan in this shade right here, which is Dust, plus this one right here, which is Buzz, and this one right here, which is Factory. So very excited that I've been able to hit pan in 3 more shades in the month of March. So now let me go ahead and just take you through how many times I used each shade. I used the shade Strange 14 times. Dust was used 4 times. Burnout was used 3 times. Limit 11 times. Buzz 3 times. Trick 3 times, Nooner 6 times, Liar 3 times, Factory 3 times, and then Mugshot, Dark Side, and Dark Heart, these last 3 shades were all used 1 time. So these are the 2 shades at the end that I was talking about. I'm probably not going to attempt to pan, but the rest of these I would really like to try to get finished in 2023. So this is where we're standing at the end of the first quarter of the year. All right, now that that is out of the way, it's time to go ahead and dive into the products that I am going to be putting in this month's actual makeup basket. So let me again tip you down. I am going to take you through my very tiny little foundation collection to talk about the products that I have in that collection and my goals for them, because you will be seeing in an upcoming Project Pan update that I do have some goals for all 3 of the products in there. So I will take you through them, kind of talk a little bit about them, and then we will go ahead and decide what else I'm going to put in my makeup basket. So let's tip on down and take a look. Okay, so here are my foundations that I mentioned, kind of showing you just a look at in this month's makeup basket. So I do have this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. This is in the shade Balos ST3. Then I also have this little mini of the Tarte C Hydroflex Foundation. This is in 14N, which is Fair Light Neutral. There is not much left in here, and because the packaging is so thick, I can't actually see where the line is, but I know there's not very much in here, so hopefully we can get some good use out of that this month. And then of course I do still have my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. This has been in my Project Pan. Here's a little look at where we are at the end of March. So I do only have this little bit left. So I am going to put all 3 of these foundations in this month's makeup basket, but I'm really going to be focusing on fully finishing this one up. You're going to see these 2 again because they are going to show up in my Project Pan. This one's going in for spring, and this one's probably going to be in for summer. So just a little look, because I am really trying to finish up these foundations because I have had them for quite a while and I would just really like them to move out of my collection and to bring some new things in. So that is a look at the 3 foundations that I currently have in my collection at this point. Okay, now let's talk about what I'm going to include in this month's makeup basket. A lot of this is going to be the same as it was in March because I only have one item in each category. So we'll go ahead and start with these 2 right here. These are the same mascara and eyeliner that I had in March, but this is almost gone. So you will probably see a new one after this month, but there is a little bit more left in here. These are both from Benefit. This is the roller liner. This is the roller lash. So they are from the same line, but I do really enjoy these. And I also still have the same 2 powders. So for my pressed powder, which I use for my under eyes, this is the number 7 Translucent Perfect Light Pressed Powder. This still has plenty in it, so that's going to be around for a little while yet. And then I also have this Aesthetica setting powder. This is in AE 105 Translucent, if you can see that. This is massive, so I'm going to have this for a while as well, but that is the setting powder that I'm currently using. I'm also still including the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze in Fair to Light, which looks like this. You can see I've got a bit of a dent in the middle, which is nice. I do use this quite often, so I'm glad to keep that in there. This is the bronzer that I enjoy the most in my collection. I have the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, which I don't like. It's not a good color for me. And then I also have one from Too Faced, which I've really not even used. So this is my preferred one, so that's also going to stay in there. Now, let's chat about the foundation. This is the one that I'm going to continue to use because, as you can see, I'm almost done. I was really hoping I would be able to finish this up in the month of March, but even though I used it pretty much every time I wore makeup, you can see I still have some in here, including stuff here in the sides that's just like really hard to get out. So my goal is to hopefully have this done in the month of March. We're going to mark it right here and hopefully I can finish that up. So I'm going to keep this in my makeup basket another month. And the other rollover from my project pan is this friend right here, which is the Tarte lipstick in the shade Salt Life. Now, this is so close to being done. Can you see how little product there is left? So I am really hoping that I can finish this up in April. I'm going to conclude this in here because I do really want that gone. Now, last month I had rolled in the Natasha Denona Pastel palette into my makeup basket. And for April, I'm going to go with a mini Natasha Denona. This is the mini retro palette. And I really, really like these shades. These are really, really pretty. And I feel like this combined with the shades in the Naked 3 will go really well together, and I can do some good mixing and matching with them, particularly with that green. That would be nice on the lower lash line. The shimmers would be really pretty with this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to obviously focus on this one because it's my Pan That palette, but we're going to go ahead and include this one in here as well. So I'm going to stick that in there. And then the last item that you also saw in my Project Pan is this Bite Lip Gloss. So this is in the shade Guava Puff, and you can see I have used it a handful of times. If you can see, we're actually down to like right here where that space is. So I'm hoping that I can go ahead and get a little bit more use out of this. I do really like this. I find this to not be sticky. I think it's a really pretty neutral shade on me. I just am not the hugest fan of lip products. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my makeup basket to give it a little bit more unofficial use because this is being rolled out of my Project Pan since I am doing a seasonal Project Pan. But I still would really like to possibly have this done by the end of the year. So it's going to hang around in a few of these makeup baskets. But yes, we'll see. Maybe if I can get it down to like the bottom of the E, I think that would be quite successful for a month. So we will see how it goes. Now, if you are wondering about blush, the only blush that I'm actually putting in the makeup basket is not an actual blush. It is a lipstick, but that is because I am putting a couple other things in my Project Pan, so I don't want to put too much in my actual makeup basket because then my Project Pan items will not actually get as much use. So here's what we're looking like, along with, obviously, this foundation right here, and my Pan That palette, but that is a look at my April makeup basket. Very simple, very similar to the one I had in March, but that's kind of how your girl rolls. So there you go. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.